Gold is a terrible investment, and I know. In this box is some gold right here. I've spent real money on it, and I'm telling you, it's a terrible investment. Now, before half of you close this video and leave an angry comment, hear me out. Because I'm not saying you shouldn't own gold. I'm saying if you're buying gold because you think it's going to make you rich, you are doing it wrong. And honestly, you're setting yourself up to be disappointed. In this video, I'm going to explain why gold fails as an investment, what it actually is, why I still own it anyway, and exactly how much of your money should go into it. And I promise by the end of this, you're either going to agree with me or you're going to fight me in the comments. Either way, stick around. Okay, so let's actually talk about what makes something a good investment. A good investment does one of two things. It generates income or it grows consistently over time, preferably both. Stocks pay dividends, real estate gives you rental income, bonds pay interest, even a savings account gives you something. They're all putting money back in your pocket while you hold them. Gold doesn't do any of that. Gold just sits there. It doesn't pay you anything. It doesn't generate cash flow. It doesn't compound. You buy an ounce today, and in 10 years, you still have an ounce. That's it. And if you look at long-term returns, gold has historically underperformed the stock market by a pretty wide margin. The S&P 500 has averaged somewhere around 10% a year. Over the long run, gold, it's been more like 7 or 8%. And that's including the massive run-up we've seen recently. Take out the last few years, and that is a lot lower. Now here's the part that really gets people. Gold doesn't even keep up with the stock market during good times. When the economy is healthy and things are growing, gold usually goes sideways or even drops. It sat basically flat for 20 years between the early 80s and early 2000s. 2 decades of nothing. Imagine holding an investment for 20 years and having nothing to show for it. On top of that, the IRS taxes gold at 28% as a collectible. That's higher than long-term capital gains on stocks. So even when gold does go up, the government takes a bigger bite than they would with your stock gains. So yeah, as an investment, gold is pretty bad. If you're buying gold thinking it's going to be the thing that builds your wealth and funds your retirement, I think you're making a mistake. Okay, so if gold is such a bad investment, why am I sitting here holding some gold? Am I a hypocrite? No, and here's why. I don't own gold as an investment, I own it as insurance. And that's a huge distinction that most people in the precious metal space either don't understand or refuse to accept. They want gold to be both. They want it to be the thing that makes them money and the thing that protects them. But those are two different jobs. Gold really is only good at one of them. Think about your car insurance. You pay for it every month. You don't expect it to make you rich. You're not checking your auto insurance portfolio hoping it went up by 12% this quarter. That would be insane. You have it because if something really bad happens, it's there. And that's gold. Gold is the thing you own when everything else goes wrong. When the dollar weakens, when there's a financial crisis, when inflation gets out of control, the stock market tanks, that's when gold shows up and does its job. It's a hedge, it's a safety net, and it's the thing that holds value when other things don't. And it's been doing that for thousands of years. That's not nothing. An ounce of gold has roughly bought a nice suit of clothes for centuries. It holds purchasing power across time in a way that no currency on earth ever has done. And that is remarkable, but it's not the same thing as being a good investment. So when I buy gold, I'm not even thinking about returns. I'm thinking about protection. And once you make that mental shift, everything about how you approach precious metals changes. Alright, so if gold is insurance, the next logical question is how much insurance do you need? My personal rule is about 5% of my net worth, and that's it. 5% in precious metals, and that includes silver. And I know some people in the stacking community are going to hear that and think that's way too low. There are people out there who are 30, 40, 50% in metals. And some people are basically all in. And look, it's their choice, but I think that's a mistake. If you're putting half of your net worth into something that doesn't generate income and historically underperforms equities, you are not hedging, you are betting. And you're betting that the financial system is going to collapse and gold is going to be the only thing that matters. And maybe you're right, but probably you are not. And in the meantime, you're missing out on actual growth from investments that compound. 5% gives me some peace of mind. If everything goes sideways, I've got some real tangible assets that I can hold in my hand. But the other 95% of my money is working for me in things that actually grow. Index funds, retirement accounts, whatever. The gold isn't doing the heavy lifting, it's the backup plan. And if you think about it through the insurance lens, that makes sense. You wouldn't spend 50% of your income on car insurance. That would be crazy. You spend what you need to be covered, and you should put the rest to work. So let me just be straight about who I think gold is for and who it is not for. If you've already got your financial house in order, you're maxing out your retirement accounts, you don't have high interest debt, you've got an emergency fund, and you want a small allocation of something that's been a store of value for literally thousands of years, buy some gold. Absolutely, it makes sense as a piece of a diversified plan. But if you're watching gold YouTube videos because you think it's going to $1,000, $10,000, and you're going to retire off of it, or if you buy gold instead of paying off your credit cards, or if you're putting 30% of your next paycheck in the metals because you think the dollar is going to collapse next Tuesday, you should pump the brakes a little bit. I see this a lot in the community and it concerns me. There are people who are so deeply into the precious metals world, they've convinced themselves that gold and silver are the only real money and everything else is fake and about the collapse. And I get the appeal of that narrative. It's dramatic and it feels like you know something other people don't. But it is not a financial plan, it is a worldview, and you cannot retire on a worldview. Gold is one tool in that toolbox, and it's a good tool, but it's not the whole toolbox. Now I know some of the comments I might get on this video, so let me just address those. Gold is up 80% in the last few years. Yeah, it is, and the S&P 500 is up a lot too. One good stretch of time doesn't change the long-term picture. Gold had a great run. It's also had decades where it did absolutely nothing. Cherry picking a time frame does not make an argument. But the dollar is losing value, and it is, and it has been for 100 years. And yet when people who invest in equities over that same period got substantially wealthier. Inflation is a real concern, but gold isn't the only hedge against it. Real estate, tips, I-bonds, or even stocks have historically outpaced inflation. But what about when the whole system collapses? If the entire global financial system collapses, I promise you an ounce of gold is not going to be the thing that saves you. You're going to need food, water, skills, and a good community. Gold might help in a partial disruption, sure, but the full doomsday scenario, gold isn't the answer either. And if it doesn't fully collapse, which historically has not, you just sat on a pile of metal while the market recovered without you. Now, I'm not trying to be dismissive. These are real concerns. I just think the precious metals community sometimes lets fear drive the bus when math should be driving the bus. You're free to do what you want with your precious metal allocation, but this is how I do mine. So is gold a terrible investment? Yeah, it honestly kind of is. It doesn't generate income, it doesn't pay a dividend, and over the long run, stocks have absolutely crushed gold in total returns. And here's the part nobody talks about. The IRS classifies gold and silver as collectibles, which means when you sell, you're paying up to 28% in capital gains taxes. That is way higher than the rate on stocks or real estate. So on paper, gold looks like a pretty bad deal. But is gold worth owning? Absolutely. Just not for the reasons most people think. See, the mistake is treating gold like an investment. It is not. It's insurance. You pay for your car insurance every month and you hope you never use it. Nobody calls that a waste of money, and that's how I think about precious metals. A small allocation that sits there quietly and protects you against the scenarios where everything else in your portfolio falls apart. Hyperinflation, a currency crisis, a total loss in confidence in the financial system. These are low probability events, but if one of them hits, your index funds and your savings account aren't going to save you. And that's why I keep my target right now at 5% of my net worth. And at that level, if gold does nothing for 20 years, I haven't meaningfully hurt my returns. But if something goes seriously wrong, that 5% could be the most important money I own. So no, gold is not a great investment, but it was never supposed to be. It's the thing you own, so everything else you built doesn't disappear overnight. All right, I know some of you probably have some comments about this video, so drop a comment and tell me why I'm wrong or what your strategy is. And if this made you think even for a little bit, please hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.